Thank you.
We are at the Warmoestraat in Amsterdam. This is our studio. This is basically Pastel. We are working in the sound and music department for film, documentaries, museum installations, and commercials. Well, we can say that today the line is pretty subtle. Like it used to be, well, a very different thing. The actual creative side goes into color making and effects, and there it's where you actually don't have like a border anymore at one point between what is music and what is sound.
You're still looking for colors, dynamics, contrast, and like when you're making music, you're also looking for those things. When these borders start to fade, like you're not really listening to a piece of music or a sound of a chair, but it's just one ball of audio coming to you, telling a story. They cannot say like, I want to have a C major here, but they speak of like, I want to have a dark feeling here. Well, that's a very good lead for us. I mean, that says a lot to us. Like, I want to have something dark, I want to have something light, you know? Light goes up, dark goes down.
You can say this color is sad, but how does this, connect to our personal experience? How much are we sad? Why are we sad? What happened that makes us sad? And this is all elements that I have always to search in a director's mind. At the moment we are working on this film that's Gone Back by Ernest Meholly, and it's like a psychological drama. The story is basically like a man that goes to war and leaves his wife, and after 6 years comes back. Partly he wants in a way to come back, and partly he's not sure about that. I have actually one theme, which is basically these 3 notes, which varies, between 3 and 4 notes. We have a piano as a main instrument that brings us through the film. What we try to do is to give him a dark color in his head, also because he has a past of war and we don't know exactly what happened and why he was away for 6 years, and so he might have like a violent side or something more aggressive in him. The music has to really carry what the actual character always thinks, what he plans, what he feels. But in this case, I would say that it is quite hard, because we actually never see him doing something, we just see him thinking. You don't see him taking like a gun and shoot someone, it's just he might think that or not. So that's what you have to try to bring out through music and sound, of course, also. And what happens here, like in the music, is basically this piano starts to disorientate himself from what was actually like a clear theme to like a struggle. You see, she's not mine anymore, she has found another man, and it freezes in your heart a bit this whole sense of hope that you had. basically piano that keeps varying and modifying, and that is interesting to know for the actual second part of the story, because in the second part, like, his mind is not clear. I mean, it's like half he thinks he wants to kiss her, half he thinks he wants to kill the husband, half he thinks, you know, like there's this confusion going on in his head, and that's actually the part where you don't have a defined theme. It's just intro. Here are the notes. And the four notes. Actually, I missed one. We have a little melody which reminds us from the theme, but varies in the way that, yeah, it loses consistency and it loses basically the actual initial intention that the story presents.
Dialogue is the most important thing to capture. So what the sound guys does, if they're good, they make sure that the scene is completely quiet, you know, so like there's no room ambience as much as you can. Everything has to be turned off, so they get the dialogue. But then you end up with something that is actually very flat.
So, you can stay here?
All these natural ambiences that might occur at this place, it has to be recreated. And it's actually very nice because you have actually control over this. So we can make this room feel very, very silent, very located far somewhere, or we can make it actually feel as if it's part of a bigger complex, like a noise. And in this case, this is a basement of a bar, and it's like the utility room. So you have like the gas, water, so that might have sounds like that. You know, it's just to give a feeling of realism to the whole scene.
So, you can stay here?
On a film of 80 minutes, 85 minutes, it's of course very easy to lose orientation at one point, no? Because you might be stuck in a queue for like, you know, like a week, and, you know, other things you can do maybe in 2 hours, but of course then to maintain this horizontal feeling through the story so that you have a very balanced score in the end, that is really the goal, and that is probably the hardest.
That although we work digitally, we still record a lot of musicians, and this is something that we always try to do because it brings something unique. It's like a person playing it, and that's still something that you cannot mimic with a computer.
You could say that music is a medium of its own, so you don't when you have to, you know, like subordinate like the music to an actual visual, then for some people it might be very hard to do so, especially when the director comes and say, yeah, that flute there, no, that really doesn't sound, you know? Yeah, and so it can really hurt. But I think it's also interesting and very and a professional attitude that you are capable actually to get away from your style and learn other things.